When war rationed every crumb, people didn't panic and they planted. In 1939, Britain, ships stopped, shops emptied, and the nation faced hunger. Out of desperation grew an idea so simple it could feed us again today: the Victory Garden. By 1940, Britain imported 70% of its food. When U-boats began sinking cargo ships, butter, meat, and eggs vanished almost overnight. Ration books became passports to calories, tiny stamps controlling every meal. Yet behind the fear, a question grew. If the seas are closed, can the soil save us? The Ministry of Food launched the Dig for Victory campaign. Posters shouted from walls, "Your garden can help feed Britain." Every unused patch of ground, parks, rooftops, even the lawns outside Buckingham Palace, became farmland. The movement spread like ivy. Schools turned playfields into cabbage patches. Children learned fractions through seed rows. Housewives joined allotment armies in floral dresses and muddy boots. Radio shows explained composting. Newspapers printed seasonal planting charts. By 1943, 1.4 million allotments were producing 1.3 million tons of vegetables a year. The average gardener grew 15% of the nation's total food supply, without fuel, fertilizer, or machinery. The Victory Garden menu was practical, not glamorous. Carrots became the poster child, cheap, hearty, rich in vitamins A and C. Leafy greens like kale, spinach, and cabbage filled ration gaps. Potatoes ruled the soil. Onions were so scarce that a single bulb was sometimes traded like currency. Families rediscovered old preserving arts. Pickling, salting, and bottling returned to kitchens. Children spread carrot jam on ration bread. The ministry even released dessert recipes using grated vegetables, anything to stretch sugar rations. Digging was more than survival. It was solidarity. Neighbors shared seeds, swapped tools, and compared compost piles. Every trench in a garden was a quiet act of rebellion, proof that the enemy couldn't starve Britain's spirit. Community competitions emerged. Streets measured their yields. Children weighed carrots for school prizes. Women's magazines published photos of proud growers beside banners reading, "Food is a weapon." Gardeners were, in their way, soldiers. Behind the scenes, government scientists studied these tiny farms. They learned that composting kitchen waste added nitrogen naturally, reducing chemical need. Crop rotation, peas one season, brassicas the next, kept soil fertile. Gardeners unknowingly practiced what we now call regenerative agriculture. Reports showed a 10 square meter plot could supply 40% of one adult's yearly vegetables. Multiply that by 1 million plots, and the numbers rival industrial farms. When peace returned, many expected the gardens to vanish, but they lingered. Allotments had become family traditions. Children who grew up during rationing kept growing food through the 1950s. Some of the same plots still exist today, quiet witnesses to a generation's resilience. The slogan faded, but its wisdom didn't. Food security begins where you stand. So, could Victory Gardens feed us now? In pure calories, perhaps not entirely. Our diets are broader, our cities denser. But in knowledge and mindset, absolutely. Today's urban gardener has technology that 1940s Britons could only dream of. Raised beds, drip irrigation, hydroponics, LED grow lights. Yet we still face supply shocks, climate stress, and food waste. The same challenges, different uniforms. If even 10% of households used balconies, rooftops, or backyards for fresh produce, studies show national fruit and veg output could rise by nearly a third. The legacy of the Victory Garden is not nostalgia, it's a blueprint. The people of the 1940s taught us that hope grows best in soil. Every seed they planted carried defiance, unity, and care. In an age of convenience, perhaps the most radical act is to dig again. Thank you for watching Ancient Ways. If you believe old wisdom still matters, subscribe and join me next week as we travel even further back, to ancient Rome, to taste the forgotten vegetables that once fed an empire.